Welcome back to Von Blues Boxing, man. What's going on with everybody? So I wanted to make this video about a fight that I think is kind of getting slept on, but also a good fight for August 14th. We got Kavaliaskas. I can't say the man first name right. So you got Kavaliaskas, known as the Mean Machine, Egidijus Kavaliaskas, known as the Mean Machine. He will be taking on Vergil Ortiz, one of the top 10 young boxers in the game. Vergil Ortiz. Yes, I said it. One of the top 10 young boxers, young contenders, title contenders in the boxing game. Vergil Ortiz. So it's gonna be on DAZN. It's in Frisco, Texas. That's where Vergil's been fighting. He usually draws pretty good crowds for that fight. He's got good support in that area in the state of Texas. And so he'll be taking on, so I think it's a great fight. Good stuff by Oscar De La Hoya for putting on this fight. I can't wait to watch it. I'm going to, and if you know anything about me, I'm a Vergil Ortiz fan. So can't wait to see my guy get back in the ring and get it on. So Egidijus Kavaliaskas, known as the Mean Machine, he's ranked 5th by the WBO. He's 5'9", 71-inch reach, 21-1, 18 KOs. And yeah, so he's a pretty good welterweight. He's not a slouch. You know what I'm saying? He stopped David Avasan, who just came off a win against Pretty Boy Kelly out there in the UK. Stopped him in the fight, had a draw against Ray Robinson. If you know anything about Ray Robinson is always a difficult fight. He lost to Bud Crawford in a pretty competitive fight until it was over, until, Bud turned it on. He dropped Bud Crawford. Yes, I said it. He dropped Bud Crawford in that fight. And, he made it competitive until Bud just took, Bud just showed what kind of level he was at that fight. He just turned it on. And, if you know anything about Bud don't like to get hit. Once he get hit, he starts to turn it on. And he turned it on and got Mean Machine up out of there. So in his last fight, he fought Mikhail Zawiski. And I watched that fight. And, Mean Machine didn't look his best, but he did get the stoppage in that fight. And he had been off for almost a year, basically a year he had been off. So, I'll give him ring rust. He still got the stoppage, got a win against a guy who was 34-1 or 34-0 at the time. Not the best competition, but he got him out of there. So, he's no slouch. He's a pretty good welterweight. And then you got, of course, my guy, Vergil Ortiz, 5'10", 72-inch reach, 17-0, and 17 knockouts, stopped every opponent he's fought. He's a WBA gold champion. You know how the boxing sanctions get down. That's how they make their money. That's why they got a ton of different champions and different, straps. And he's ranked #1 currently in the WBO. So could be a mandatory for Mr. Bud Crawford. If we'll see what happens though. So we know Vergil Ortiz has had pretty good competition in his young career. He beat stopped Antonio Orozco, stopped Mauricio O'Hara, stopped Samuel Vargas, stopped Maurice Hooker, and stopped Brad Solomon. So he's been on a tear. Kid's got good potential, good boxing skills, likes to come forward, good volume puncher, goes to the body and head, mixes it up well. Footwork pretty decent, working on his defense, getting better with it and things of that nature. He's got pretty good defense, but he's getting better at it. He's adjusting to it, And his last fight, he stopped Maurice Hooker. Maurice Hooker, for a while, gave him a good fight, but then just Vergil overwhelmed him. Vergil just, broke him down and overwhelmed him and got him out of there. Didn't get him. Well, he broke his hand and just the wear and tear of that fight. That's how he got, Maurice Hooker out of there. So this is a good step-up fight another good fight for Vergil Ortiz, taking another level up, trying to solidify himself. And I don't think this is a showcase fight. I think this is a competitive, fun fight for the boxing fans. And also on August 14th, we got John Riel Casimiro versus Guillermo Rigondeaux. So August 14th, we got some good fights coming up on that Saturday. So we are fortunate, boxing fans. We got some pretty good fights right there. And I think it's going to be a good, fun fight for the fans. We'll see how it goes. We shouldn't sleep on Kavaliaskas. Don't sleep on him. He could give Vergil a good fight, maybe even pull up the upset. We don't know. But another good step up from Vergil Ortiz. The young man is going in the right way. I hope if he does win this fight, he fights Bud Crawford, because obviously Vergil Ortiz is not going to get Keith Thurman. He ain't going to get Sean Porter. He not going to get Danny Garcia. You know what I'm saying? It's just not going to happen. We seen the PBC welterweights, and, PBC welterweights, they don't really fight outside of their boxing promotion. So with the welterweights, so we know that fight probably isn't gonna, he's not gonna get one of those fights. So if I'm him, I'm going after Bud Crawford after I win this fight if I'm Vergil Ortiz. If not, then, another high level type of guy. But if I'm him after this, I'm going after Bud Crawford. Yes, only had 17 fights. Yes, some people might think the Vergil Ortiz is too young, too green for Terrence Crawford, but this is the risks the boxers take, and if Vergil could pull that off, beat Bud Crawford at this early stage in his career, man, this is how legends was made. You look at a guy like Ray Leonard, you look at guys like Muhammad Ali, you look at some of the top boxers, you look at Floyd Mayweather, and you look at Canelo. When they were pretty young, they took some risks, and they end up pulling it off. So, we'll see, what Oscar De La Hoya and Bob Arum would want to do if that fight could come to fruition. But we'll see what happens, because, with Bud Crawford only having one fight left on his contract, and then, also Bud having them other options, with Josh Taylor possibly, moving up after his fight with Jack Catterall, possibly could move up, or we could see, or, possibly get Earl Spence, and him and Earl Spence after Earl Spence fights Manny Pacquiao. Hopefully, because Earl said, he is going to see what Top Rank's talking about after the Manny Pacquiao fight. So, but he's got options. But I think Vergil Ortiz should try to pursue that after he wins that fight. If not, then, you keep moving on. You keep on punching the clock. But, yeah, just wanted to get that out there for y'all. August 14th on DAZN. Vergil Ortiz versus Egidijus Kavaliaskas, the Mean Machine. Don't miss it. Von Blues Boxing. I'm out.